Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to explore a topic that's really been making waves lately: how artificial intelligence is transforming the world of journalism. And, we're going to pay special attention to what's happening in the global south and in those emerging economies that are really starting to make their mark.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating area to be looking at right now. AI is changing the way journalists work at a pace that's, well, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Totally agree with you there. So to guide our deep dive today, we're going to be looking at a 2025 report from the Thomson Reuters Foundation. It's called Journalism in the AI Era: Opportunities and Challenges in the Global South and Emerging Economies. It's got insights from over 200 journalists from more than 70 countries. It's a pretty comprehensive look at what's happening on the ground.
Yeah, it really is. It's a valuable resource for anyone who wants to understand this rapidly evolving landscape.
So as I was digging into the report, what really struck me was this one stat. Over 80% of journalists surveyed are already using AI tools in their work. That's huge. I mean, I knew AI was becoming more popular, but I had no idea the adoption rate was that high.
It's remarkable, isn't it? It really shows how AI is becoming increasingly integrated into the daily routines of journalists all over the world.
I'm curious, though, what kinds of things are journalists actually using these tools for? Is it just, writing articles, or is there more to it?
It goes way beyond just writing articles. Journalists are using AI for all sorts of tasks: drafting, editing, doing research, translating languages, even fact-checking.
Fact-checking with AI. Now, that's something I want to hear more about.
It's pretty amazing what AI can do in that realm.
Yeah.
Imagine a journalist investigating corruption in a local government. AI can sift through thousands of financial documents in minutes, flagging anything that looks fishy.
So it's like having a super-powered research assistant. That could free up so much time for journalists to, actually focus on the story.
Exactly. It allows journalists to do what they do best: dig deep, ask tough questions, and hold those in power accountable.
That makes sense, but I do have to wonder, are all these journalists tech wizards? I mean, do they need some serious coding skills to use these tools effectively?
That's what's so interesting. The report actually found that only 13% of the journalists surveyed have any kind of formal AI policy at their workplaces.
Wow, that's surprising. So they're basically diving into this new world of AI without a roadmap.
Pretty much. It's like exploring a whole new continent without a map or a compass. There's a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning as they go.
That's a little bit concerning, isn't it? I mean, without clear guidelines, how do journalists ensure they're using these powerful tools responsibly?
That's a critical question. The report highlights the need for ethical guidelines, especially in regions where AI could be misused for propaganda or silencing dissent.
I imagine that's particularly important in the global south, where there might be less established media regulations.
Absolutely. The report digs deep into the unique challenges faced by journalists in these regions, particularly when it comes to AI. For example, many leading AI models are trained mainly on English language, Western-centric data.
So that could create a kind of digital divide where these AI tools aren't as effective for journalists covering diverse communities or working in other languages.
Exactly. It's like trying to use a map of London to navigate Tokyo. It's just not going to work very well.
Yeah.
We need AI tools that are inclusive and representative, or we risk silencing certain voices and perspectives.
That's a really important point. It sounds like AI is presenting journalists with this incredible opportunity, but also with some serious challenges.
It's a double-edged sword, for sure. There's a lot of excitement about AI's potential to empower journalists, but also a lot of anxiety about the potential downsides.
I can see why. So let's delve a little deeper into both sides of this AI coin. What are some of the things that journalists are most excited about when it comes to using AI in their work?
Many journalists see AI as a way to elevate the quality of their work and make a bigger impact. They're using it to tell more complex, data-driven stories and reach new audiences. There's a real sense of possibility and optimism.
So AI isn't just about automation and efficiency, it's actually helping journalists tell better stories.
Exactly. Imagine a journalist working on a story about, say, environmental pollution. AI can help analyze tons of data, identifying those hidden patterns and connections that a human might miss. It's like having a superpowered detective on your team.
That's amazing. It sounds like AI can really help journalists get to the bottom of complex issues and hold powerful entities accountable.
Absolutely. But of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. There are some very real anxieties about the impact of AI on journalism.
Yeah, I bet. What are some of the things that are keeping journalists up at night?
One of the biggest concerns is that over-reliance on AI could erode those essential skills that make a good journalist. Things like creativity, critical thinking, the ability to connect with sources and build trust.
Yeah, I can see that. If you're constantly relying on a machine to do the thinking for you, your own skills might start to get rusty.
Exactly. It's like relying too much on a GPS. You might end up getting lost if it suddenly stops working.
So how do we ensure that AI empowers journalists instead of making them dependent?
That's where training and education come in. The report emphasizes the need to invest in these areas, especially in the global South.
So it's not just about giving journalists access to the tools, it's about giving them the knowledge and skills to use those tools effectively and ethically.
Precisely. It's about making sure that journalists are in the driver's seat, using AI to enhance their craft, not being replaced by it.
I like that analogy. It's about journalists being the artists and AI being the paintbrush.
Exactly. It's a collaboration, a partnership where both sides bring something unique to the table.
This is also fascinating. It's clear that AI has the potential to be a real game changer for journalism, especially in regions where resources and support might be limited.
Absolutely. It's opening up new possibilities and creating opportunities that we couldn't have even imagined a few years ago.
But it's also clear that this isn't a magic bullet. It requires careful thought, ethical guidelines, and a willingness to learn and adapt as the technology continues to evolve.
I couldn't agree more. It's an exciting time to be a journalist, but it's also a time that demands a lot of responsibility and critical thinking.
Speaking of exciting, I'm really curious to hear about some specific examples of how AI is actually being used in newsrooms around the global South. I understand the report highlights some really interesting case studies.
Oh, it does. There are some incredible examples of innovation and creativity happening right now. For instance, let's take a look at what's happening in South Africa. So in South Africa, you have the Daily Maverick, a pretty well-known online news outlet, and they've been playing around with AI in some really interesting ways.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears. What have they been up to?
One thing they've done is they've started using AI to, generate those really concise summaries of their top stories. And you know what? It's actually helped boost readership, giving people a little sneak peek of the news.
That's a smart move. It's like a little appetizer to get you hungry for the main course.
Exactly. And they've also been using AI to refine their headlines, making them, more catchy and more clickable.
So they're using AI to really understand what makes people want to read an article. That's fascinating. But, it makes you wonder, will we ever see AI writing entire articles?
No, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's something that the report actually delves into quite a bit.
I bet. But before we go down that rabbit hole, I'm curious about other applications. The report also mentions a really cool use of AI in Peru, right?
Oh, yeah. This one's all about reaching those communities that are often overlooked. Ojo Publico, it's an investigative journalism outlet there. They've been using AI to translate their audio content.
That's fantastic. What languages are they translating into?
Into a few indigenous languages. Quechua, Aymara, and Awajun.
Wow, that's amazing. They're breaking down those language barriers and making their investigations accessible to a much wider audience.
Exactly. It's a perfect example of how AI can be a tool for inclusion, giving a voice to those who might not otherwise have one.
It's like AI is helping to level the playing field in a way. And speaking of expanding reach, didn't the report also talk about those virtual anchors popping up on news broadcasts?
Oh, yeah. Virtual anchors are starting to show up in places like India and Venezuela. This actually started in China a few years ago.
So these are AI-generated characters that deliver the news. That's wild. But what does that mean for actual human journalists? I mean, are we going to be replaced by AI newsreaders?
That's a question a lot of people are asking. The report does look at that potential for AI to displace human jobs. Some people are worried, but others think it might free up journalists to do, more in-depth reporting.
So maybe it's not about AI taking over completely, but more about shifting roles. Like, AI handles the basic stuff, and human journalists focus on those deeper, more complex stories.
Right. It's about figuring out that perfect balance where humans and AI can work together, each playing to their strengths.
It all comes back to that idea of AI as a tool to empower journalists, not to make them obsolete. But you know what? We should probably circle back to some of those challenges we discussed earlier. What about those concerns about, the lack of clear guidelines for using AI in the newsroom?
Right. That's a big one. The report found that a surprising number of journalists, like 57.6%, are self-taught when it comes to AI.
Wow, that's over half of them just figuring it out on their own. No wonder some folks are feeling a little lost. It really shows the need for more support and training from news organizations.
Definitely. Newsroom leaders need to step up and provide those clear guidelines, make sure AI is being used responsibly and ethically. It's about creating a culture of AI literacy.
So we're talking about investing in training programs, not just for journalists, but for editors and managers too.
Exactly. Everyone needs to be on the same page. They need to understand the potential of AI, but also the limitations and those ethical considerations. And, those media development organizations and funders, they have a really important role to play here too. They can provide resources and support, especially in the global south, where access to training might be more limited.
It sounds like we need a whole ecosystem of support to make this work, but let's shift gears for a second and talk about transparency. The report really stresses the need for clear disclosure when AI has been used in creating news content. What were your thoughts on that?
It's so important. I mean, the report actually cites research from the Reuters Institute showing that audiences really want to know when AI has been involved in the story.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? People want to know where their information is coming from, how it's being produced. Transparency builds trust.
Exactly. It's about maintaining that credibility, upholding journalistic integrity, even in a world where AI is playing a bigger role.
So how do we do that? How do we ensure that transparency?
Well, the report suggests things like clear labeling and attribution, so readers know exactly what they're getting.
I like that. Transparency is key. But let's not forget about the potential downsides of AI either. What about those concerns around bias and misinformation?
Oh, those are critical issues, for sure. Journalists need to be so careful when using these AI tools. They have to remember that they're ultimately responsible for the accuracy and fairness of the information they put out there.
Right. It's like with any new tool, you gotta know how to use it properly. You can't just blindly trust what it spits out. And speaking of new tools, the report also talks about how fast AI is developing. It feels like things are changing so quickly, it's hard to keep up.
It is. The report really emphasizes the need for journalists in newsrooms to be constantly learning and adapting. They need to stay informed and be ready to adjust as the technology evolves.
So for all those journalists out there trying to navigate this new world, what are some practical steps they can take to get ready for a future where AI plays an even bigger role?
Well, one of the most important things is to, really invest in AI literacy. And that means seeking out training, experimenting with different AI tools, and staying up to date on the latest developments.
So it's not just about the technical skills, is it? What else is important?
It's about developing those critical thinking skills, being aware of the ethical implications, and being able to, really discern fact from fiction in this increasingly complex world of information.
So journalists need to be more than just reporters now. They need to be like tech savvy, ethically minded, and able to navigate this sea of information. It's a whole new ballgame.
And it's up to newsroom leaders to provide the support and resources to help them do that. It's a team effort, for sure.
One of the things that's really striking me is how much this report emphasizes the human element in all of this. It's not about AI taking over. It's about humans and AI working together to tell those powerful stories, reach new audiences, and ultimately serve the public good.
Exactly. And that brings us to a point that the report really drives home. The need for collaboration. And I'm not just talking about within newsrooms, but across the entire ecosystem.
So we're talking about journalists working with developers, with policymakers, with the public. What would that look like in practice?
Imagine journalists actually working side by side with AI developers, giving them feedback, shaping those tools that are being created. Think about policymakers crafting regulations that encourage responsible AI use while still protecting journalistic freedom. And picture newsrooms working hand in hand with communities, using AI to understand their concerns and tell their stories.
Now that's a powerful vision. It sounds like this report is really challenging us to see this moment as a chance to reshape the future of journalism, not just react to it.
It is. It's about being proactive, shaping the development and use of AI in a way that reflects the values and principles of journalism.
So it's not just about avoiding the risks, it's about using the potential of AI to actually make journalism stronger. I love that. And I think that's a perfect place it feels like we're on the verge of something big, doesn't it? AI is shaking things up, but we still have a say in how it shapes the future of journalism.
Absolutely. And this report lays out a really clear path forward.
Yeah. One thing that really jumped out at me was that call for journalists to be more, proactive, to actually get involved in those conversations about how AI is being developed.
It's so important. Instead of just, passively using whatever tools come along, journalists need a seat at the table. They need to share their experiences, what they need, what worries them, and help steer AI in the right direction for journalism.
It's like we're all part of this big experiment, figuring out how to use this powerful technology in a way that's responsible and effective. Speaking of experiments, the report also encourages newsrooms to share what they're learning, the good and the bad.
Yeah. We can learn so much from each other. The more we experiment and share what works and what doesn't, the better we'll be able to navigate this whole AI thing and really make the most of it.
It's all about collaboration, right? Journalists working with developers, with policymakers, with each other, and even with the public.
Exactly. Imagine journalists teaming up with AI developers to create tools that are tailor-made for their needs. Think about newsrooms working with communities, using AI to better understand their concerns and tell their stories. The possibilities are huge.
It's about building a whole system where everyone's working together, using AI to make journalism stronger and really serve the public good. And you know what? This brings us to the heart of what we've been talking about today. I think what we've uncovered is that this isn't just a tech challenge, it's a human challenge.
I completely agree. It's about how we as humans choose to use this incredible technology. It's about our values, our ethics, and our commitment to what makes journalism so important.
It's about finding that balance, embracing what's new while protecting the things that make journalism essential. Truth, accountability, that human connection.
And this report gives us hope, shows that even with all the challenges, there's this real sense of optimism about how AI can actually make journalism better. It's not about replacing journalists, it's about making them even more powerful.
That's the message that I'm taking away from all of this. AI is a tool, and just like any tool, it can be used in good ways or bad ways. It's up to us, the humans, to make sure it's used to inform, to empower, and to make our society stronger.
And that's a challenge worth taking on, isn't it? It's a chance to redefine what journalism means in this crazy 21st century. It's a chance to create a future where technology and humanity work together to build a more informed and equitable world.
I love that vision. So to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has given you a lot to think about, and we really encourage you to check out that full report from the Thomson Reuters Foundation. It's full of great insights and recommendations that can help us all navigate this new world.
And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those tough questions. The future of journalism is in our hands.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.